All right, good morning, everyone. Okay, so hello to our 95 viewers. And where am I? All right. Okay, so welcome to our students there, and also to some of people there who are not my student but likes to listen and likes to learn something for our lesson today. All right, so let's begin. How are you there? 101? Okay, wait for a little bit more. And okay, do not forget to write your name as usual. Write your ID number if it's possible, and then your class and section as well, for the sake of the record for today. Where's your table? Oh, my table. Okay, you just have to ask your leader. I think I met them last week. It's just in Mateo 3 and 5 faculty room in St. Peter building, to your right side. Yeah, if you're facing the field, then it would be in your left side. Figure it out. All right, try to find me, Teacher Sheila. Okay, so welcome everyone. So let me just have a recap of what we talked about last week. Can you remember what was our topic last week? Congratulations for those who submitted their work on time, and good job for the leaders who are really responsible in submitting their classrooms, their classmates' notebooks. And for those who were late, then you're gonna face, your consequence for that. Well, for today, oh yes, it's about, you interview with your parents, am I right? Or anyone in your family who has work. All right, so thank you so much for your cooperation. And so for today, we're gonna learn something new. I hope it's new to you. Okay, so let's begin. We are going to talk about the art of letter writing, or writing a letter. Have you ever received a letter from someone special? Or did you experience writing a letter to your someone special, or to someone special to you? Probably your parents, probably your friends, best friends, or your girlfriend, probably, or boyfriend, your teacher, probably. Okay, so probably you all do experience writing a letter, right? How is the experience? How is the feeling of expressing your thoughts? All right, so for this time, we are going to learn to reconnect to our loved ones through letters. And I'm going to give emphasis on the formal letter, not more on the informal ones, okay? When we do have the informal ones, then the letters that we usually send to our parents, to our loved ones, that's the informal one. But for this lesson, I'm going to focus on the formal letter, okay? So, but before that, let's have first our words of wisdom for today. It's from the picturequotes.com. Okay, I love this one. To send a letter is a good way to go somewhere without moving anything but your heart. Isn't it right? Yes, we're just writing it, but our letter reached so many or far places. Next one. One of the sweetest things in life is a letter from a friend, isn't it? Or probably a letter from someone special to you. Not just a friend, more than a friend maybe. And that's the cutest thing probably you receive. And do not forget, never write a letter while you are angry. Do you know why? Do you know why we should not write a letter while we are angry? Because when we write letters, it comes from our heart and our mind, so it reflects. The letters or the words that we are writing reflects our feelings, our emotions. So make sure when we write letter, we are relaxed and having chill somewhere, and so we can write a good one. Next. So what is or where this letter comes from? Writing a letter. Okay? When this one became so famous, and what are the importance? Why we do write letters? Well, I do a little bit of research. Okay, so let's start first with the definition of what a letter is. For you, what is a letter? I'm not talking about the letter of the alphabet. I'm talking about the letter where you write something to a friend or to someone, a VIP probably, or about a business probably. Okay, so from what I have in here, a letter is a written message conveyed from one person to another person, and that is so true. Yeah? From your idea, you are sharing your idea ideas to another person. Now, historically, it says here that this existed from the time of ancient India. Okay, according to Wiki. All right, so during the 17th and 18th century. So why they use, even us today, why we use letters? Okay, for self-education. Does it? Does letter educate us? Yes, of course. We know something from the letter. And that is so true long time ago. And even nowadays. And it is also a way to practice, for us to practice our writing skills, our reading skills as well, of course, and to practice and enhance our self-expression through writing. Some of us, maybe we are good in speaking, but there are people, maybe many of you there, good in writing. So in this case, you're gonna be effective in this lesson. So if you have time, I have a suggestion for you to watch the movie Letters to Juliet. You will enjoy this one. You will see how important and how the letter turns, give the twist of in the life of the characters. And there you go. You will find the importance of letters in there. Okay, so now let's begin. For you, what is a letter? Now, we are going to talk about, no one answered yet, consent that don't use an internet. Alright, so let me give you a clear perspective or idea with what a letter is. It's not just something that you send when there is no internet connection, something like that. A letter can also be an email. That's another kind of letter. Remember, we have formal and informal letters. Even when you send a message to your friends, send a message to me, that's a form of a letter in an informal way. Okay? So whether you have internet or you don't have, you still can do, or you still can send letters, okay? And share your ideas or thoughts. Now, let's talk about the types of letters. And if you wanted to have samples, then I have there the link. You can copy that one and try to search for samples of letters. Now, there are many kinds of letters, or many types of letters. So I'm going to share you some, and then we are going to focus on one of it. Ready? So, letters, we have thank you letter. Very familiar, right? Very familiar from the name itself. Reference letter, application letter for graduates and who are, applying for university. This is very familiar to you. Introduction letter, sales letter, formal letter, birthday letter, and many more. So let's try to quickly talk about each one. First, we have the thank you letter. What is a thank you letter? So it deals with a style of thanking someone who has helped and supported in business. So thank you letter, from the name itself, you just say thank you to that person. But if that person or a group or organization, you have to use formal letter, okay? But if it's just a friend, thank you for having me in your birthday party, something like that, then that's an informal one. So it depends on your purpose, why you're writing it, okay? Next, we have reference letter. So from the name itself, again, reference, meaning your achievement. It provides a candidate educational qualification, abilities, and everything, your credentials there. If you are good enough, okay, to be accepted in an organization or institution, you have a reference letter from someone. Next, we have application letter. So for us, working people, when we wanted to leave just for a while because probably we're sick or probably we wanted to go somewhere to refresh ourselves, we apply for a leave application letter to the administration to request for a leave. And then for college students or those who just graduated, you usually need application letter for internship, okay, and job application. Of course, in the future you're gonna need this one, the application letter. Next, introduction letter. From the word itself, it's merely to introduce a company or a person to your friends and acquaintances. Okay, if you wanted to promote someone that you know or close to you, and then you promote it to a company or a very prominent person, probably just a business matter. Next, we have sales letter. Okay, so in simple words, it's an advertisement to sell products or services. Next, we have formal letter. Now, this letter, I am going to give emphasis to this one today. So, what is a formal letter? Please take note of this. It can be related to business, institution, or educational purposes. The format has to be followed while writing a formal letter. So there is a standard, or shall we say a specific format for this kind of letter, and I am going to share to you this one or this format or parts of the letters later on. So please prepare yourselves to take notes of the important ideas. Next, birthday letter. It's a kind of informal letter. Usually you send birthday letter to someone special to you or someone very close to you. Am I right? Yeah. So this is an informal letter. Next one. So some more letters. We have agreement letter, apology letter. You say sorry to someone, then you write an apology letter. Complaint letter. If someone is, acting not good or probably did something bad to you or to the company, then you're going to complain. Or maybe your neighbor is so noisy in an apartment, so you write a complaint letter to the landlady or landlord. Next, excuse letter, when you want to take leave on that day, like absent on that day, then you send an excuse letter. Why? Okay. Next, we have the follow-up letter. So, for example, we talk something now. We are the business partners, and you need to follow up something. Then you write letters to me, and that's a follow-up letter. Hardship letter, when you can't pay, for example, your tuition fee, you can't pay, so you need a hardship letter just to explain your part to the administration. So that's a hardship letter. Next, letter of invitation from the word itself. If you have birthday party and you wanted to invite me, just send me your invitation. Okay, next one is the letter of support. So if someone, I mentioned this one a while ago for the reference letter, if you wanted to support someone, like for example, to going to university, why he has to be accepted, or what is or her credential or achievements, okay? And and you are the one to support that person, so you have to write a letter for him. Next one is the transfer letter. When your company or maybe a business, you wanted to transfer it to probably another name or another place, then send a letter to your district somewhere office. Next, warning letter. Okay, this is very common, right, for us students. And in the classroom, if you did something wrong, you will receive a warning letter, maybe from your teacher, from the administration. But if you're doing good, then you will not receive as well. Yeah, you will not receive warning letter. And of course, from the name itself, goodbye letter. Okay, so saying goodbye, this is a kind of informal letter saying goodbye to someone special probably, or to your company. Yeah. All right, and then next, let's give focus on the formal letters. So everyone, I wanted you to bear with me and let's try to know what a formal letter is and how to write a formal letter. Okay, so first we have the characteristics. So what are the characteristics of a formal letter? So we have the addressee, someone you don't know. Since this is formal, usually you are writing to someone you don't know or someone you don't know personally. Okay, so that's the difference of formal letter to informal letter. For informal letters, usually you give letters to someone close to you, someone you know personally, and the formal letter, someone you don't know or someone you don't know personally, like in business, okay, in business world. And we talk about word, yes, that's it. Business are official subjects. So everything, the words that we're going to use here, the mode, the tone, we have to use the formal ones, okay? Kinds of formal letters. So we have letter of inquiry. When you say inquiry, you want to know something. So for example, you're applying in ACT in our school. Before you get into registration, of course, your parents ask for inquiry. If they can't come personally, they send via email. So that's a letter of inquiry. Letter of application, letter of complaint, letter of regret. When you wanted to say sorry for something you've done in the past, so you send a letter of regret to someone, to a company, probably organization, and then a thank you letter. Okay, next. So we have four letters, but I'm going to share to you two because we're going to use only two for these formal letters. The other one, the semi-block format, we usually use them for informal letters. We also use modified block for informal letters, but modified block and block can be used both in formal letters. So by the end of the lesson, you're going to make a letter using one of these, okay? So make sure you're taking notes there. So modified one, okay. Notice this one, notice this part, and the dates. So that makes it different, the position. Okay, in your right side, on your left side, the modified block, on your the address, okay, the address and the date, your address and the date, you can see it on your right side, But for the block part, you can see them on your left side. And also, it's all justified here, okay? Look at this part here, all straight, no indentation. That's what we call block, okay? Next. Now, what are the parts of a formal letter? Basic parts. We have 7 here. I'm going to share to you. Take down notes. First, sender's address. So when you say sender's, the one who writes the letter. So it could be, it's you. Okay, if it's you, then it's you. Your address. Next, the date, followed by the date. And then after that, the recipient's address. When you say recipients, what does it mean? Anyone who knows what a recipient is, the word recipient? Okay, if the sender is the one who sends, the recipient is the one who receives, okay? The one who receives the letter. So You're going to write his or her address as well. And we have the salutation, and we will know later on what a salutation is. Salute. Okay, meaning it's a way of giving respect, polite to someone you are writing to. Next, the body part. Of course, the letter without the body will not be complete, and it will never give sense to someone who will receive the letter. Yeah, because in the body part, later on I will tell you what's in here. You will know something, many things in the body part. Next, not the last one, but the complementary clause. Okay, complementary clause, from the word itself, the closing part, okay, of the letter, and you are going to know later on how are you going to end your letter. Next, the last part is the enclosure. This enclosure, it's more on attached, okay, the attached documents. So later on we will talk about that one. So let's go first with the sender's date and recipient's address. First part, in the top right corner, okay, top right corner, the address and date. You can see them, the address, this one, and the date. Leave a line between the address and the date. Okay, take note of that. You are going to leave. This is the space. Leave a space. A line means a space between them. Next, on your top left corner, the address and the date of the person or company you're writing to, or the recipient's address. So let me give you an example. In this case, we have sender's address. There you go. We have the date. I'm using the block format. And we have the recipient's address. Guys, if you have questions, okay, while I am talking and discussing, you can drop it there so I can, somehow entertain your questions. So we have here 1, 2, 3 parts. So take note of that. If you think you have photographic memory, then capture it. If you don't have, then write them on your notes. Next, we have the salutation. Okay, the most common salutation in a formal letter is dear. Dear, and then the name of the person. Now, note, there is a note here that it is followed by a comma. After dear, Sheila, comma. Okay, but if that is only if we are on the same level. Okay, you are my brother or you're my parents. Next one, dear Mr. or Miss Harkness or Miss Sheila, if you know the name. So in this case, you know my name, so you have to write my name, dear Miss Sheila, comma, okay? And then not, remember this, do not use dear manager, dear teacher, because it's just not formal, okay? If you do not know the name, use dear sir or dear madam. You can use those safe words. Dear madam, dear sir, dear sir. Next one, example. So we have here the salutation part. Do you know where is the salutation part? Everyone, quickly. Who can give me the salutation part in this case? Can you write it down? Just the clue one, the first word you can find. Obviously, you have here. Okay, we have warning for those who are giving their bad, good. We have dear Miss Smith. Okay, that is your salutation. All right, so there you go. Next, we have this part, the body part and the complementary clause. When you say body part, you can find here what is the reason why you are writing this letter to him, to her, or to me. Okay, you can find, or I can find there the topic, the reason why, and you can also, in the body part, you can also put the contact if that is necessary for, if you have business with the company, business with me, and I need the contact, or you need to share your contact, then you can include it there, okay? Yes, that is correct, Pirawit, dear Miss Smith, that is the salutation part from the word salute, okay? Giving respect. Next, the complementary clause. This is a statement or the last part of the letter that usually gives the ending mode. Yeah? When you finish your letter, so you say, I look forward to hearing from you. That is part of complementary close. And then yours faithfully, or there is a space here. Okay? Yours faithfully or yours sincerely, and then your name below and your signature. So that is your complementary close. For example, you have it here. Ooh. Okay. In this case, we have the body part. There you go. And your complementary close. There you go. Cordially, Sam Brown, and then probably the signature here. Okay. So this is the part of your complementary close. If you are a very important person in the company, or if you need to share your information so the one who receives a letter will know who are they talking to, you can include your position. Okay? Is that clear? Are the parts of formal letters or formal letter clear to you? Do you have any question with the parts? Not so far? Okay, just drop your question there and let me try to answer them. So the last one, the enclosure. So you can find I'm using, or this one is an informal letter. Probably. Yeah, it used semi-block. So probably this is, for example, signature. And then you can see here, usually the enclosure, you can find them at the lowest part of the letter when something is, or something is or are attached to the letter. So we have your resume. Expect that the next page we will have a resume and a writing sample, whatever is that. Okay, so anything that you wanted to attach, you just have to include, or you just have to mention them in your inclusion. The ENC, some also use ENCL. Up to you. Next, is this clear to you? I hope so. Hello to our 197 viewers there. So let's recall the parts of the letter, the sender's address, your address, the date when you write the letter, the recipient's address. If you're going to send me the letter, then it should be my address. Salutation, your greeting salutation, way of addressing someone, a polite way of addressing someone. Then the body part where you give your reasons why you are writing the letter, and it consists of usually 2 or 3 or more paragraphs. It could be long or short paragraphs. Next, the complementary close, the closing part of your letter, and including your name and your signature. Okay. Next one. Now, in this case, we have here email format. You are in the modern world, but still we are using the traditional format. It usually, especially when we are writing to a company, a business, okay, we're dealing with the business, we usually attached in our email, we attach the letter, a formal one, with all the 6 or 7 parts of the letter, and we call it like a cover letter for email. But in this case, I don't have here the seven parts, but still we say that it's a formal letter in an email format. So in your email, you can send, we have the 2. You're very familiar with this one because you're always doing it. And you have the subject here. Thank you for meeting me. The title. What is this letter about? Okay. Next, still we use the salutation, or in simple word we say the greeting part. Dear Miss Sheila. And then, of course, we have the body part. In this sample, we have 3 paragraphs, and we have the brief introduction. Of course, you have to introduce. You cannot just directly say what you need. You have to say something good first, part of your introduction, and your main purpose of your letter will be in the middle part, the second paragraph probably, and of course your closing statements for the last part of the letter, and your signature as part of the complimentary close. Your signature, you have sincerely, faithfully yours, and then the signature, your name, your contact, probably if you wanted to share your email because you have or you are using another email address for business purposes, and so you can include it here, and your signature. Okay. Is it easy? The format is easy. It doesn't need, for email format, doesn't need to have 7 parts. Why? When you send this letter, this email to that someone, for example, to me, I will receive as well the date when you submit it, or when you send it, and also I'm going to receive your email. I will know your email, so you may or you may not include your email as well. But for the address, usually when we have the address, we usually attach it, okay, with another document for the complete parts of the letter, okay. But in this case, I wanted you to practice writing a formal letter using the email format. Is it okay with you, or you want the traditional letter format? What do you want? Okay, so you have to remember the style, okay? Use formal language. Do not use language which is used by Jeff09, okay? That's a no-no. Next, do not use contraction. Formal language, like using polite words, okay? And contractions, for example, isn't it? Do not use this one, or instead use is not, okay? Do not use contraction, the one you combine, 2 words combined as one. Avoid that for formal letter or formal writing, even in formal writing. Use models such as would, should, and could. Now let me ask you, why do you think we have to use would, should, and could in formal letter? Anyone from the group? Can you please drop your answer? Why? A short answer. Why do you think we need to use would, should, and could for formal writings or formal letter? Anyone? Plus points. Okay, I'm going to give plus points to those who are participating in our online class or online live questions. Hello? Okay, so just drop your answer there as I move forward, and I'm going back to this question later on. Do not use colloquial language. Okay, take note of this word here. We have a new word for today. Yay! We have the word colloquial. Who knows the word colloquial? Colloquial language. What does it mean? At the first part, we have formal. The opposite is the colloquial. What is a colloquial? So you have 2 questions here right now. Why do we use, or we have to use would, should, and could in writing letter, formal letter, and why we should not use colloquial language? It's a polite way to suggest or, yes, to ask question or for questioning. That is true. Very good. What is informal? Got a circle. So very good. P is for pain. Pain. That is so true. We have to be polite. So therefore, we have to use would, should, could, because they are modal words that shows politeness when we speak or even when we write. Colloquial, okay, good job for researching it, is when you use your informal language. So informal language, such as, for example, I'm gonna, okay, avoid saying gonna, or instead say going to. I wanna tell you that. Okay? Say wanna, that one. Or in the worst case, you use harsh words, and that's a no-no. That is still part of colloquial language. So avoid this one, because would, could are formal than any words. Okay, they're also formal, and there are also other formal words, not just that. Thank you, April. And what else? Okay, informal language, Eric's lang. In short, colloquial language are informal language. That is true. Okay, good job. Next. Now the structure and the content. You must always give a clear reason for writing. Do not go around in the bush, okay? You have to be specific why you are writing it. It's a formal letter. It's not a friendly letter. You're not making friends. You are dealing business. So you have to be direct, a clear reason for writing. Colloquial is more suitable in speech rather than writing. In speech as well, it depends on who are you talking to, or where are you talking. Like if you are in a formal gatherings, well, you have to use formal words as well. But if you wanted to crack jokes, then that's the time you use colloquial. But most of the time, when you are in a formal conversation or formal gatherings, you use formal words in speaking or in writing. Okay, so it depends on the purpose and the situation. That is true. Very good. Anna, what is this? Very good, Tiramit. Okay, Tiramit is very good in expressing his idea. Good job. Next, link sentences with conjunctions like and, but, because. Okay, and there are more. So you have to apply here your knowledge, your basic knowledge in English, especially when it comes to grammar. So be careful using words like, for example, conjunctions. Okay? You can do some research while you are writing. You can refer to sources which can help you to write, effectively, like Grammarly, promoting Grammarly. Hey there. Next one, we have divide the letter into clear paragraphs. Okay, we are having our live class here. Divide the letter into clear paragraphs. Of course, when you are talking about something in the first paragraph, introduction, and you wanted to, to give the reason why you're writing the letter, that's two different topics. So you have to make another paragraph for your reasons why you are writing the letter. Okay? Next one. Useful language. Okay? We are very close to the last part. So useful language. You have to use these languages. This language or these words. We have greeting, like dear Mr., and then the name of the person if you know the name. But if not, then you use sir or madam. Okay? Just remember that. Next, reasons for writing. I am writing to apply, and then your explanation. Or I'm writing to ask you about. Or I'm writing to complain about. Alright. Next, formal expression. Even though you're angry probably while you are writing, or you're writing complaint letter, you still have to control yourself and use formal expressions. For example, I would like to complain about. Can do that. Could you send me the copy of this and that? Okay. But you don't say this and that in your letter, okay? You have to specify what is this and what is that. I am afraid that I can make it through your birthday. I'm sorry. So, is it regret? What kind of letter is that? So you have to use formal expressions. Okay. Next is the enclosure part. So you enclose or you attach your CV, my curriculum vitae. If you are a professional, resume if you're applying something, or your application if you're applying something probably in the university. For you as a student applying in school, registering, then you can attach your application form or application letter. Next, the contact. Please contact me if you need any more information. So this is how you say it. You have to use the word please. You just don't say contact me if you need any more information. It sounds so bossy. So you have to at least use words that, make it sound polite. Make it sound polite. We have here, the last one is the closing. Okay, the closing part. I look forward to hearing from you. Yours faithfully. Sincerely yours. Yes, or yours sincerely. And then the name. If you know that person. Okay, so you use yours sincerely. Yours faithfully. And you can use more of the complementary close or closing statement. Next. Now this part. Hello? Okay. Mark. Alright, so let's go with the activity 6A. We're going to identify, I have two activities right now. So first one, you're going to identify the parts of a letter. So I am going to give you a specific part, but you are the one who's going to give a label. So I wanted you to take note of this and just transfer this one in your notebook. What is KK? Okay, so let's proceed. Marco. Hello, Marco May. So, number 1, are you ready? Okay, number 1. What do you think is this part? Or what part is this of a letter? That's number 1. You have here the address. I mentioned this one many times. If I'm the one writing the letter, what or how do we call it? This is my address. So how should we call it, or how it is called? Number 2, do we need to copy the... No. Don't make a problem for yourself. Don't make a big problem, okay? No need for you to copy the whole letter. Okay, just write your answer. I just need your answer to see if you really understand or remember the parts of the letter. Next, number 2. The easiest one. It revealed itself through this. How do we call it? That's number 2. No need to copy anything. I told you, write only the letter, or write only the answers. Number 3. What or how do you call this part? The person, your clue, the person who will receive the letter. How do we call it? Make sure to write them down. Okay? And next part. Okay, this one. Dear Mr. Parker. My example was, Dear Miss Sheila. How do we call that part? Okay. I'm sorry, this is number 4. Alright, so let's go to number 5. What part is this? Okay, how do we call this part? There are 2 words for that to complete the answers. The acronym is CC. Okay, I'm giving you the clue. Alright, so that's our activity 6, letter A. Are we good? May I proceed to the next one, the last activity for today. Activity 6, letter B. Write a business letter or an email about your concerns with the online class. The receiver will be me, Miss Sheila, and you can send it to me via email, sheilaabsede01@gmail.com. Is that clear? Now this is your sample, same as the one I showed you a while ago. So you are going to send me just this format. No need for you to write your address for your privacy, and no need for you to write my address. But I need you to specify this one, this part, the subject, the salutation. The body part you should have at least 2 paragraphs, 3 at most. Okay? Share your thoughts about or concerns about the online class. And you can use sincerely, or you can use another closing remarks for this one. You can change it, and then make sure to write your name here, just to practice. No need for you to write your number and your email, okay? For your privacy's sake, please do not write them as well. Okay, so is that clear to you? You write a business letter or an email about your concerns with the online class. If you wanted to do it, the attached letter, then you have to do the letter with 7 parts. But if you wanted to use the email letter, you can use this part only, the example that I'm showing you at this moment. And the receiver will be me, so I should see there, Dear Miss Sheila. Everything will be sent, of course, via online, this activity. So I should see them until, supposed to be until today, so I have to end it early. But I can extend the time of submission until Monday. Can be? Yeah. So make sure you have to think the things that you wanted to write before you write them, and check your grammar as well. Teacher, I'm not confident with my grammar. Well, you have all the resources there. Your online, it can help you a lot. Grammarly can help you a lot. And also your knowledge, okay? Your own, of course. Your parents can help you a lot as well. Alright, do you have any question before we end this one? Question, please. Clarification? Do you have any clarification? Is everything clear? So I'm going to see in your notebook next time the activity 6, letter A. But for activity 6, letter B, I will see this one in my email. Okay, the topic is online class. Which one? Write in Gmail. Yes. So the topic is online class. No. What could be the concern? So you can write your subject there. Concern, my concern with the online class. Or if there are many concerns, you say, my concerns with online class. And you are going to write that one in this part. Okay. Write in Gmail. Yes. Directly on the notes in your Gmail. Gmail, guys. The email via Gmail. Do you understand? So no one will write in the documents. Do we call it documents? Okay, no one will write there and attach. No attachment here. Just write them directly to the email notes. Are we calling it email notes? Is it clear to you? Please make sure to write your name, complete name here, or else I will not be able to recognize you. Okay, clear? No more question? I need to see the notebooks of the other classes. 4/7, 4/7, 4/6. Yeah, just very, very, very few submitted. Why did I click on this? Sorry. I'm sorry. Why did you click on this? Okay, so question, then you can send an email for clarification. Okay? So if that's the case, thank you so much everyone. See you next time. If not here, then probably in your classroom. Okay? So bye-bye everyone. No more question. See ya again next time. Alright. When is the due? I said until Monday. Better you submit it ahead of time. Okay? So that's it. Bye-bye everyone.